Hey guys, I want to talk about something today. I finally got fundamental, kind of getting through my thick skull here. Uh, Up until now, I've been a lot of my games. I've been aggressively doing conversion, even at T1, and it's done pretty okay to me. It got me up to like 30 OS, but I think I'm about to break that barrier. I'm feeling pretty good. Um, the thing is that let's just pause the game. Um, there's this very fundamental thing, and if you implement it into your gameplay, I guarantee you will really start getting some great returns. And I don't know how many matches I'm gonna go through, but basically it's just some fundamental mistakes that people make, and it's this game. I'm not quite how I should say this. Map control is so important. So just thinking about the things that we should prioritize in getting more resources, it's gonna be getting metal extractors, getting enough energy, build power, and then getting units, and then winning battles by prioritizing units and static defense to fund your economy rather than rely on win scale or scaling in general. I'm kind of finding I in retrospect this is just like so incredibly obvious. Yeah, excuse me. But it just I've been getting away with it because I mostly play noob lobbies, but when you throw me into the higher level lobbies, you start getting punished for this stuff. And yeah, another thing is I've been saying this a lot. I tell people do not go T2 until you can pay for that T2 with the reclaim from winning your lane. Otherwise, you're going to go T2, lose all your stuff, and your lane is going to reclaim all of your stuff and build their own T2. And then all of a sudden, they control more than half of the map, and they're going to upgrade those mechs. And you've gained basically nothing. I've had that happen a few times today. But we'll just speed on through this. I always like to open with a whole bunch of energy, at least 2 cons, and then I'm really aggressively building units earlier and earlier. So, at least before, I like to make at least 3 cons, but I'll pump out units to defend them at least the second con, or at latest the second con. Otherwise, your stuff's going to get picked off, and you're just going to have a bad rest of the game. And I'll be having a lot of frustrations this game because the guy next to me isn't going to be contributing a whole lot. But the good thing is that I'm going to be making so many units versus like extra wind and stuff, and I like to get some extra like energy storage, all of that, all the basic stuff like that. So when wind dips, I'm not having a bad time. That sort of thing. I'm trying. I would like if I overbuild wind, definitely going to be converting that and storing it. But I kind of want to avoid that because every time the wind could have been units, which could have been map control, which is so much more efficient than trying to scale with converters. I'm not saying like absolutely don't do it, but try to avoid it. Um, I'll have a decent amount of units to be able to defend. This didn't feel great because I ended up having to fight two people at once. Of course, that always happens. And also another thing is I like to patrol my units so I can look away and they just kind of dodge stuff and pick up leaks without me having to pay too close attention to it, and I can look back to my base. The other thing is I'm going to be getting a lot of build power in my base so I can like just blow through the metal as fast as I can. I get a con turret pretty early. I can't really give you like a specific time. I don't have it down to an exact math, but I will be getting plenty. Like as soon as I'll be trying to build a con turret in my base, assist it out with my commander, and then send him up front really fast. And this is what it looks like. If I get there, if I get there before the other guy, I'm just gonna have more metal, and I'm just gonna be able to bully him for the rest of the game. And I also have a little bit of excess, and this is gonna be frustrating and campy, but I'm not making stupid stuff. To start out, I'll make rovers to fight off rovers, then blitz, and they do pretty good. I'm not making stupid stuff like rocket bots and missile trucks from the very beginning, as you'll see pretty soon. Like these blitz are just gonna eat through all of these rocket bots, which is great for me. And one thing I am struggling with is I want to have more cons up front and maybe like make resbots earlier. I don't know. It's getting the reclaim is it's been feeling a little slow, but I am getting it. I guess I could be more aggressive. But I'll have these situations. If he builds defenses, I should be able to just go around it. I've got 19 when he has 29, and he's scaled with conversion and I'm trying to look at like what my base income is. About 19. See, I'm ahead of him even though he's got all this conversion. And the wind's not hitting that great, but it's not going to be consistent. It's going to be another thing. But also I have more units. And I could... If this guy was, making units for the situation and also just going around this, this game could have been won already, but that's not what happened. So I run around and picking stuff off, and then my next goal would be to, since he's fortifying over here, I would go somewhere else. And the other thing is, if I can get them to fight, the further out from his base, the better. Because this is where his reinforcements are coming from, so he's going to have more units at that. he'll be more reinforced the closer he is to his base. So an alternative would be to just go somewhere else or get him to be aggressive further out so he doesn't have that advantage anymore. So in this case, I think what I was thinking was poking at this, which I eventually do, but he's not standing idle. But you see these rocket bots, they just suck. They're absolutely terrible in wide open fights. And unfortunately, I get shurikened and all that good stuff. At this point, I'm trying to get all the reclaim. And this should have, just won this guy's lane, but he has not taken his mechs. Air has had to take his mechs for him. He hasn't taken this mechs, and he's spamming missile trucks. It's not good. You want to have missile trucks, missiles in general. They are support units. They shoot air. They take down defenses. They poke and prod, and they provide vision, but they're a support unit, and they get wrecked by stouts. They get by medium tanks, and oh man, I've been really enjoying shredders lately. But yeah, basically this gets really annoying. Yeah. I'm really liking this army composition where I make lots of stouts, and maybe a few missile trucks, and just like mostly medium tank with like maybe some blitz or something else, and some support units, and then eventually I will reinforce with I'll want to get the reclaim, so eventually I'll also get a bot factory, and the bot factory will be making some grunts to deal with spam and stuff like that. Let him think he can go around you. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have any missile trucks, so yeah, I would have got baited into that, but if the guy was listening, but he wasn't. So you see, like, he's getting really greedy, and as he's attacking me, I can just like, he's outside the range of his turrets, so I can just keep getting reclaim pretty easy. And if we look at the resources, it's 27 to 17. And this guy's been so kind as to provide me with a T2 con. So at this point, I will make a bunch of construction vehicles to assist this, and then have it finish. Have the construction vehicles finish the mechs, and then the bot start the next one. I feel like I talk about this every game. It's a really important way to min-max your economy. And I just will be sending these. My tank micros just send them back and forth for the most part, just so that they're moving a little bit, so they don't get hit by everything. As you can see, these guys just kind of steamroll everything, and I'm trying to. If I'm being diligent, I will also be sending my weaker units, the tanks with the lower health back to get repaired. And I would like to have maybe some construction turrets or res bots. And then this guy's completely this. I guess I this didn't feel great, but I guess I really did wipe this guy out. So I can just back up, and this guy's army is just a bunch of rocket bots for the most part. So, it's completely terrible, and I can see why I would have avoided this guy and don't want him on my team ever, because this is, he must have made a play like this before. I have like every match I block at least like one person because someone just makes such an awful play. I just don't want to ever have to deal with them ever again. And I try not to argue too much in the chat anymore. I just tell them, you're muted, you're blocked. And that's that. And then where is the air? I should have had missile trucks, but also air. And well, the air player should be paying attention, so hopefully he'll be coming. This is, yeah, that's awesome. Our air player's paying attention. And yeah, as you can see, Green's army is just melting because medium tanks are really good. And then I'm not making it like a whole ton. LOT are okay, but they get outranged by rocket bots and stuff like that. So I'll try to get an Overwatch or whatever in the front line, and this is keeping them at bay pretty good for just long enough. And of course, he could just go around this, but he's not. Didn't get the commander snipe. And getting this reclaim, I want to get this reclaim quick, but this is frustrating when I have to fight someone else's lane and then someone else gets all the reclaim. Like, are you serious, dude? Like, what makes you feel entitled to all this reclaim when you weren't a good steward of the metal that you already had? So that's my thought behind that. But yeah, just continue until I get like I will get T2 eventually. And this might be a time when I feel comfortable doing that because I've already won my lane. The game is basically over at this point. I've already won. Now it's time to T2. The time not to T2 is when your lane could be swung either way, as I said earlier, and then you just get wrecked because your opponent has, like, how much is a T2 factory? 2,600 or 2,600 metal. Yeah, that's like 10, 11, 12-ish stouts or whatever. It's a ton of T1 units that could be running your opponent through. But at this point, it's kind of a foregone conclusion, and it's because I have the map control, we have the reclaim, and now it's just a matter of deciding how we're going to win. It's going to be nice and tidy like that. Might not be a whole lot more to say about this match. Red breaks through. Unfortunately, I got my army blown up, but also just getting all this reclaim. And yeah, this is unfortunate. I might have T2'd a little bit early because I lost all that stuff. And then, yeah, we get all the reclaim. Yada, yada, yada. It's another good one. Here's another example. This one, I think a lot of these were really frustrating because I was excelling, but the people around me were not. And in these situations, like if you're surrounded by people who, like, I would have liked, I didn't get my preferred starting spot because this lobby was slowly getting more and more gentrified. Is my favorite way of OS creep and naming OS creep. I think I would have preferred starting somewhere over here. I got over here. It's decent. I think just about any of these are pretty whatever words. Now that I'm looking at this, why would I have a preference over any certain spot? I don't know. I think this is a front/tech spot, which is a perfect spot to not tech and just go front and win the game because the person across from you does tech and just like gives up the map control, and then you get to pay for the T2 with reclaiming your opponent's units that got wrecked because dude got 2v1'd. But this was like, frustrating because this guy didn't do too good. Yeah, it's just going to be a basic opener. Like, I like to put one metal extractor down, then 3 wind, and then take all the nearby metal. And I've also been more willing to assist out more cons with cons before sending stuff out. Or sending my cons out to take the mechs, just because there's some maps where you just have a lot of metal that you're not spending any other way from the start, because this is like a 8-9 metal start. I want to say 2.4 8 math 9.6 metal in your base when you're starting out. Anyway, you see how I design my base. I always space my wins and my con turrets by 1 because I don't like my stuff chaining. And I'm going to take my max as fast as I possibly can. I'm going to get build power in my base as fast as I possibly can, and get wind or whatever energy I need up as fast as I can to support the build power at my disposal to just blow through all the metal, and turn them into units and be able to effectively defend myself. But lo and behold, this is going to be one of those frustrating situations where I'm fighting 2 people and I was just not quick enough to send my cons back to defend them. I do get some nice D-guns with my com. And this LLT saves me so much hassle. And I'm glad I built it. Whereas this guy lost half of his base by... I don't even know how you manage to lose half of your base to like three pawns, but whatever. We all got to start somewhere. And then, well, I'm not feeling the pressure, so I'm going to go hunting. These blitz I'm going to be going after his metal. And looks like, judging by this replay, I should have been doing much more, much faster. I want to be aggressive at the first possible opportunity. And these blitz are just going to... And I have been going arm a lot more lately, especially on these big open maps, just because the units are quicker. And I end up completely wiping pink, just about. and I will just be, bewildered that this guy wasn't able to take care of Pink for me, even though basically wiped him. This blitz is going to be I didn't pay attention to this after this, but I got the Contrit, and then I got the other Contrit, and then this was just sitting here. So I think, bro, that is your fault. Oh, I didn't get the factory. And yeah, I'm just gonna be going through targets, whatever's close. This was incredibly annoying. He's just like running around with his comm supporting, and he might get a few D guns, but I think I T2'd too soon. I guess I found a bunch of reclaims somewhere, so I started getting T2. But this will be like a thing where, here's some things about T2. It's very energy expensive, and I still haven't like learned my lesson about that. Like, yes, I do absolutely want to be getting my stuff upgraded, my mechs upgraded. I was feeling like there was no threats. And it did end up working out. I think I would have actually felt better if I just had more stouts. This was really annoying. I think I just don't have enough energy production, maybe. Yeah, so I switched to making a solar pretty quickly because I bottom out on energy. And this guy's just really annoying, dude. He's like poking me with a bunch of thugs and repairing with his commander. It's really annoying. And I'm just bewildered that this guy over here is struggling, and Centurions aren't that great. I don't think that they're that great. They lose to stouts and are slower than stouts. Stouts are just better. I think brutes or whatever. I think, don't quote me on this, but stouts and brutes are basically the same stats wise. And what do I send my combat? I have no idea. But I'll be making consoles instead of resbots because I just, want to get the reclaim. But at some point I do want to start like more aggressively reviving stuff. This is incredibly annoying. Finally end up dealing with this. He does get a D gun off. I lose a lot of bulls this game to D guns. It's really annoying. Bulls should be able to solo a commander. It's just like, people just want to be annoying with their micro. Make stupid stuff take forever, or easy stuff take forever. Like, bro, why don't you just like do something else earlier in the game to prevent yourself from being in this situation where you must do this in the first place? Yeah, when I first started playing, I used to get really frustrated about Sheldons because I didn't really know how to counter them. But basically anything with a decent amount of health completely shuts them down. Yep. And I'm making sure that I'm claiming all these mechs behind this. So maybe like not, I wasn't like fully prepared to take these mechs as fast as I possibly could. But like eventually I do make more consoles, and there's so many reclaimed fields that I gotta be like proactive about taking. It took me a moment. I'm like looking at this and I'm really thinking like, man, it's better to stay on T1 longer, I think. Or keep your T1 factories around, or I'm just thinking like Resbots would have been better than consoles, for instance, here. And this guy's he's gonna be like microing like a madman to slow me down, but it's not gonna be enough. The offensive advanced bot lab. Thinking about like managing priorities, like when is it safe to do such a thing. Salmiakki, this one was incredibly frustrating. Somebody made a T1 artillery in their base, and it was like just really annoying and trolly. I'm gonna skip that one because it was a very valiant attempt to defend a 3v1, and I could go over like all the things that were annoying about that and what these guys could have done better, but I don't really want to do that right now. And like our highest OS player was like, he didn't make a torpedo launcher before getting started in the sea, and I don't know. I don't like that. This one turned out better. I like watching games that I won. So my favorite spot on this map, which is called Ascendancy. I don't know why people love this spot, but they do. And he does end up dominating. But when I look at this, I'm like, well, this peak, if you get a LRPC up there, I think it like covers the entire map, so yikes. This spot here is my preferred place, but this one's okay too. And I would feel very confident in this spot, but this one's pretty good. When I choose a spot, I just want to make sure that I'm getting the most metal possible as a baseline. So this is just going to be like the same basic kind of opener. But the wind is very good. I'm curious how much storage. I just want to look at it like a title. How much storage does the title have? 50 storage. It's okay. It's not great. You'll notice on a lot of maps, including Salmiakki, and I think it includes Salmiakki and also Tempest, wind is better than title. Like if you do the math, like on average, like the title speed is 22 and the wind speed on average is 13.5. So if you double that, 2 winds is 27, which is better than title. And title is more than twice the cost of a single windmill, but 2 winds is better than 1 title. So it's kind of a meme. So I get my energy up, take my max, and then I start making construction vehicles. And I was thinking throughout this match, like, who's gonna take this max but if he doesn't take this max, I'll take it. I don't know, maybe it went unclaimed for the entire match, but this is really frustrating. Why do you need to send units to the front like immediately? Because there's metal spots that need claiming, and you don't want the other team to get them. This is really frustrating. Like I get a lot of units to the front really quick. I get my blitz going. Very good. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we have units here. We're gonna fight over these. I'm bringing my comm over here. Right? Somebody's base just got ran through. Oh shoot. Dude made hovers? What? Okay. Don't make hovers. Hovers are terrible. Like, okay, if you ever think about making hovers, just go offline and look at these stats. All of them. Look at the health of the units and all that. And then come back and tell me you think that making hovers are good. Goon's got pretty good speed, though. Let me look at this. It's still not as fast as a Rascal. I think a Rascal would probably beat a Goon, but I have no idea. I just know my experience that every time someone builds hovers, they get completely wrecked. I'm not gonna get into it right now. I want to get into it though. Okay, a brute is 235 metal, right? 2,000 health, 83 DPS. A Cayman is 300, less health, less DPS. Range 370. Slightly better range than a brute. Speed less than a brute. Why would you ever want that? Now I have seen people use rocket launchers to great effect, and halberds are apparently pretty good. I've seen them do pretty good. Let's not get into it. Anyway, maybe someone can make them work, but I haven't tried. This is just a situation like, why am I not getting help? Why am I not getting help? Why is nobody helping me? Why? But I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna make some pretty. I gotta sneeze. It's coming. There is a sneeze coming. Yeah, I have a bunch of incisors, which is, and then I have to like try to get them to bunch up, so I'm not getting surrounded and losing a bunch. But I'm going to very aggressively be trying to get this reclaim. And okay, you're gonna abandon me to fighting two people, and then you're gonna come over here and take all of my reclaim? What? What is happening? Dude. Okay. Whatever. I can't fight this directly, so I'm going to try going around. I think res bots are really good. They make thugs so much better. But that's not what's happening here. I don't know. Maybe this was a thug sort of match. I don't know. But this worked out pretty good. Pounders counter thugs pretty handily. I don't like Janice because they also counter thugs, but they're really annoying to micro. I wish I would have waited a little bit longer to make this push. I want to be really annoying as long and as often as I possibly can. He got these mechs up here. I didn't. I do think that these mechs should be this player's. But what I really do want to make sure that I'm doing is getting this reclaim. And if I can get him to push out from his turrets, I'll be that much more likely to get the reclaim and also hopefully not get myself degunned. We're gonna see why you don't T2 before you've won your lane pretty soon. This is a really good army composition. I'm like, he's got 9 9, 12, 15 extra metal compared to me. Minus 2.1, 13 extra metal compared to me. But actually, I'm keeping up because, well, this tells a story right here. I've spent all of my metal, and I'm spending it as fast as I get it. He is not. He has a lot of wind. He has 41 mils to my 26. I have more build power. And these mills that could have been units, but they were not. And he's also made a solar on clearly a wind map. I'm not sure what the break even point is, but wind is really good. And he's got these solar collectors. And he's going for wind, which is like really questionable because I'm already making missile trucks. So I'm really happy when he sends shurikens at me. Also, Soy Boy. I want to say I haven't been playing very many 1v1s. I've been finding them very intimidating lately, even though I'm like I think I'm 35 OS on a good day, but it was dropping down to like 30. I haven't been doing very many 1v1s, but if you really want to, what's the word? If you really want to learn the game, play 1v1s. You won't be able to blame anyone. Or if you're just me, you just get mad. That's the other thing, I just get mad. What the I don't even understand. You get in these situations where you just don't understand what happened, but you do have a replay to watch now. So like, this is great. I actually do get to clear out this and get these metal extractors for myself, but this guy's... Oh no. Oh no. What? He doesn't control the middle? There's... Okay, let's just look at this situation. What is happening here? This side is falling. Okay. There's 1,000 metal on the ground. We need to contest that. There's another 1.5 thousand metal on the ground. We need to contest that. That right there, those two spots right there, that's the cost of a T2 factory. So we're going T2 while our team is dying. And you just like making the situation worse. And finally I get to break through this. But now it's my problem. This guy's my problem, this guy's my problem. And now this guy's my problem. While this guy is making a T2 lab. This is not appropriate. And this is why he's ignored, avoided, blocked, and muted. And hopefully I never have to come across this person again. Just don't do that. I don't want you on my team ever again. And what am I gonna do? Well, there's 1,000 metal on the ground. I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna contest it. I'm gonna make sure that no one else is gonna get it except me. If there's anything I can possibly do about it, I'm gonna do something about it. And I think at this point, like that's a really far away. So it's gonna take me. I don't have any cons surviving up here, so my next order of business is like my com's gonna take forever to get all this reclaim, which has been the case for like the entire game up to this point. I need res bots up there, and I guess I am just going to reclaim, but I need to really start considering resing. And this is what oh my god, words. I did a different I've learned my lesson about this. This gets really annoying. Like, okay, I'm losing my lane, so I'm gonna make 100,000 grunts and just like try to win that way. But that's not gonna work against me. Usually the solution I've had is to make anti-spam or of my own, which is just making my own spam. But Pounders and Janice just like tear through grunts and anything else really. But they can't be your entire army. You just pepper them in. And he's not going to be able to do that. And I also have some LLT speckled around, so he's not going to be able to get me on that. Red has done a great job over here. I'm still curious why people love this lane so much. I look at it and it looks slow to me. Big and slow. I guess it's a free lane if you can just like get up there before your opponent. It looks slow. Red does end up picking up all the slack from over there, which is great. Spoilers. I only like reviewing games that I've won. But this is really annoying. Like, Pink is not doing anything. He's building T2, and he's not going to share me T2. Why? Why would you Why would you not share T2? I don't know. If you make T2 at my expense or at your team's expense, like at least, at the very least, be so kind to share a T2 to all these people that you just left struggling while you get that up. But I'm going to be able to handily clean this up because I have units to defend myself. And I just have to back off and I'm going to lose. I'll probably lose some mechs in the process. I'm just like I'm really just holding on for dear life, and I guess I mismicroed here. And I use my comm to I think I comm bombed some of his army. But okay, the gunships were shot down by air, so that's really good. And yeah, I'm just like holding on for dear life. Luckily, I have pounders, so I'm trading. I have a variety of units in my army, so I'm trading pretty well against any comp. He gets run through. I'm gonna get all the reclaim, but I'm gonna make sure that I don't reclaim this advanced bot factory. I'm going to repair it, or I'm gonna res it. And these godlike Shuris, amazing. I think we can kind of push through the rest of this. Somehow, some way, hovercraft guy is not wrecked yet, and some awesome bombing runs, I guess, from Red. So that's one of the things. Like, okay, I've got when you make decisions on like what to do, it's gonna be really slow to get, especially bots, to affect anything on the map. So when you're in this remote location, that's a good time to make air. And I think the recluse are like on these cliffs, he can just like walk. I'm not sure if I'm not 100. I'm not super familiar with like the pathing for recluse, but I think most of these areas, they can walk over these cliffs, so that cuts down on a little bit the travel time. I don't think there's much more to say about this. I had to end up making my own T2 out of somebody else's factory. Yeah, I'm like, in order to stay effective, like, there's you got to find the most efficient route to getting what you need, and in this case it was to res this lab and then start upgrading mechs that way. Should we? This was the final one. We're starting with the C spot. There will be a player that decides that the tech slash some guy decided that this was his starting spot, which is really annoying. So he basically stole a bunch of mechs from the tech and the air player. I mean, I guess, like, looking at this, maybe he's right. That, I mean, obviously taking a 3 mech start is much better than taking a 1 mech start. So one thing that I might have messed this one up, but I do. Okay, this map, the wind speed is 18. The tidal speed is 18. Why would you build tidal? Unless that's like your only option. For real. And so I asked somebody for a con, and this guy who annoyed me by starting here did make me a bot constructor. Anyway, and then I built a bunch of wind here, which I probably overbuilt wind and had to end up I did end up scaling, but I guess the theme of this video is like, don't go crazy with T1 scaling or scaling in general. Because there's better ways to get metal. Sorry, I'm out of battery here. I open with a sub and some thoughts on C. I open with a sub to fight off early aggression, and also the commander. I send him out early. I just, want to blow through my early metal and then send the comm out and get my max. I think I'm about done with this video. Con was a little bit late. I send this thing out, almost lose it a few times. These torpedo launchers are pretty good at dealing with subs. I decided that I was going it's easy to just go straight to destroyers, but frigates beat destroyers this early on, and I'm just gonna really aggressively. I probably screwed up this opening. 3.8 to 3.8 thousand to 2.9 is kind of embarrassing. I really screwed that up, but let's see if he has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 max to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 natural starting max or whatever. So it's a little bit asymmetrical over here. And blue is even worse off, but we do somehow come back from this, and it just came down to repairing and making better decisions with what units we were going to use. Like he over, like, just this, he like overbuilt subs. Like maybe one sub is like more than enough subs. And I do kind of just want to blow through this. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. I felt like I was winning like this entire time, though. It's because like these frigates, I'm just going to run down destroyers and then back off and repair a lot. This was kind of an unnecessary push. Like I was seeing opportunities, and what happens is I'm losing and leaving. I'm leaving wrecks on his side, mine and his. I get smart at one point, but you can't be making those mistakes ever. One is enough to lose you the game. But I shouldn't even be pushing until I have destroyers. These frigates will do a great job at punishing him for moving out. But pushing in to fix defense, and even if I do, like, what's the benefit? I'm losing my boats over there, and on top of that, none of these frigates destroy underwater stuff. And I'm taking a huge risk on like getting my comm too close. Stop building my base. This was a great interaction. Bro, you have so much space. You have so much space. And he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna reclaim your base. I'm gonna reclaim your buildings. Yeah, see what happens, dude. That's exactly what I say. See what happens, dude. You know what's gonna happen. You're gonna get kick banned. And then hope you don't get reported. Just stop being annoying, like, for real. With your stupid entitlement stuff, get out of here. I'm trying to get a lot better at this. Like, I want to keep my... When I know I'm going to lose a boat, I'm going to send the ones with health in front to hit. They'll get hit more likely. Then I send this back and repair it. And if I don't... I'm just looking at this and, like, probably could have pushed that in one at this point. But these herrings are annoying, but I just didn't recognize the situation. But I'm struggling to... Like, this comm here is also a consideration. The sonar on these destroyers are underwhelming. I can't believe these... I hate comm bombing stuff. Is such BS. It's such a stupid thing that you can get away with that. I'm starting to pick off the mechs. I lost some boats that I shouldn't have. Oh no. He's getting the reclaim. Why are you? Oh no. I don't like that. I don't like that he got that reclaim. I think Blue's doing a great job though. It's just frustrating. So this is frustratingly slow. Just like it's taken forever. You gotta be like slow, meticulous with boats. Yeah. I think one of my problems here is I do have a little bit of conversion, but even the conversion I made wasn't enough, and I'm still making wind. I probably didn't need to make all that wind, but also, how am I going to be making those decisions when my teammate's being annoying? And this was another thing. He got all this reclaim. I don't want him to get that reclaim. So maybe a little bit more build power in my base. But from here, like, I should have made more res boats. I feel like I should have won a lot earlier if I just microed better. Yeah, dude, don't ping, don't ask me to do things like I'm obviously paying attention. I'm just really just waiting on you. Lots of res happening. And then I really get smart, and this is something I'm going to be doing a lot more. I zoomed out and started like using the line command for movement of my boats much further out so they don't clump up and stray shots are actually going to miss, like completely whiff and not hit nearby boats at that point. And at this point, like, what do you do with this? It's either seaplanes or I opted to get T2 to upgrade my mechs and then start doing stuff. But like from here, you do seaplanes, I think, and amphibious units, and make sure that dudes don't get to D-gun your base. This was annoying. I hope he didn't get like the full. I'm gonna look at this. I did so much damage to this thing. I hope he didn't get the. I don't really know what happened. Maybe he reclaimed that and I didn't do any damage to it at all. But that's really annoying. Yeah, these T2 walls. Oh my god, against boats, it's just annoying. But I did get the bot lab, and another option is once your commander is free, you can just start walking around and degunning people's bases. This looks pretty dire. My sound card is freaking out. I'm gonna have to go back and review this. I'm just gonna go through this really quick. There's not a lot more to say about this. I'm just gonna use my boats to be picking off whatever I can on the coastline, and this shallow water. This is cringe. Like, I have a lot of opportunities. Like, I could have caught that. You have a lot of opportunities. Like, once you win the sea, you control, like, all the metal. So just make sure that you do that. Yeah, I didn't go too crazy with the scaling, so I reclaim scaled. Okay. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. Peace out.